Turned on here. Okay, here we go. I think my mic was turned off there just for a second. Well, hello. Welcome to Stars of Akarios live stream. Okay, there we go. Just double checking on my setup that I am live. Hey, thanks for joining me. Feel free, as always, if you have questions, post them either in YouTube live chat or here in Facebook. And I know we have a handful of people watching already. That's great. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the hearts, David. Well, today, what do I want to talk about? Well, kind of the current state of production. We're going well, and just kind of in this process of feedback from China and reviewing it and getting it kind of sent and just continuing on that way. And so it's been an exciting couple weeks where we just get a lot of proofs back from China, and I'll show you a little bit about some of the stuff that we're kind of working on right now. And then besides that, it's bug squashing time. And so with a 200-page scenario book and 40-page rule book, there's a decent amount of bugs to be squashed. And so I'm going to show you a few of those things. But hey, I think we're on track. Our playtester Nick, he's doing a great job of identifying bugs and just helping me in how I go about kind of smoothing out the game. And I'm really excited about where things are at right now. We have we just have a lot of good stuff. So hey, let me just kind of jump into. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so hey, whoa, welcome to Notion. This is where we keep all the secrets of Stars of Akarios. What I want to show you now is just this thing I've been working on with, just a second here. Okay, here we go. So let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, okay. We'll go for it here. So this is kind of just a little bit chit-chatting about the organization of the game. So I don't know, some of you guys might find it super interesting, some of you might not. And so kind of what I just want to do is just kind of walk. Can I get bigger? I don't think I actually can get bigger. Walk you through a little bit about how we're planning on organizing the game in each of the different components. So this is the base tray. And so oh, here we go. I can make it bigger. Perfect. The base tray, it literally sits at the base of the game. And so we have a lot of areas, these are the try areas for the punch outs for the small planets, asteroids, gas nebula. And you can't tell, but sitting on top of them are the bigger planet punch outs. Really quite exciting. Why am I blanking? I'm blanking on what. Oh, this is used for a lot of the stands and whatnot. We have areas here for the pilot miniatures. We have ships up top. We have. See, I'm learning some of the stuff. This here is for the large space exploration cards and the reference cards. So kind of the big size ones. And just a lot of good kind of storage options. Oh yeah, then here, this is I think where the wormholes go just like the single slot. So this is cool. The sparrow tray, which has the sparrow mat kind of sitting on top of it, and maybe you know what? Let's see if I can just. I'm gonna pull up a picture of the sparrow, and then you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. So. Let's zoom in a bit. So you can see that this sparrow mat actually goes right on top. It sits right here. And yeah, so it sits right here. And so we have the sparrow, boom, boom, boom. Oh, come on, go back. And these, we don't see the die line, but these are actually punched out here. And so this allows you to kind of track your progression as you go. And then kind of another neat thing with this tray is that the Sparrow can have two different upgrades in the game. And so let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. So right here and right here, this is where game trays, they're so cool. They get pretty unique. Sit the Sparrow upgrades, and so they're just resting. And then underneath the Sparrow upgrades, you have a spot for all the trauma cards and co-pilots that you gain throughout the game. And here's the customs excited dice spot. Here's an area for all of the cubes. And yeah, just really, really neat. That's the Sparrow tray. And then here is this is the player tray. So you can kind of see, it's a little bit trickier to see from a top-down perspective, but you have an area for all 4 of the action dice, and it has a nice little curve, so you can just kind of slip them all right up. You got a spot for your ship miniature, spot for your pilot miniature, and then sitting on top here, you have a spot for excuse me, you have a spot for your modifier deck, and then there's an area actually where you can slip in all of the cards that would be on your player tray itself. So really, really neat. We have somebody on YouTube, Oni Zazin, saying this might actually be the only game backed. Might be the only game I backed that will actually arrive this year. Well, I guess it depends on when you back the game. I backed a couple, I don't even know, maybe a few years ago. Railroad Inc. was the latest one that actually just showed up for me. Okay, here we go. So this is where kind of I was doing some work last night. This here is the the card tray. It doesn't come with these numbers, but I'm using these numbers for reference, just to help the factory as far as how to figure out the storage for everything. Oh, Adam's just asking how everything will fit in how will every ship fit in the tray? Yes. So every ship and every pilot will fit in these trays. We've made them a little bit made them universal so that they will fit. All right, card tray. Each of these wells, they don't look that deep, but each of the wells are 55 cards deep. Okay, so they're all nicely reinforced. There's a lid that kind of tucks everything so cards won't slip in between the two. And how we have it laid out currently is 1, 2, and 3. Well, this is how it's laid out. So 1, 2, and 3 are world exploration cards. So we have Chosic Moon, Jirark, and Feroch fit here. So that's most. It wasn't an even split because there's not 3, 3, and 3 world explorations depending on the act. Act 2 actually only has one big world exploration. And then Act 2 is Jutsu Petram, and Act 3 is Fulia, Chuko, Chosic, and synthetic, and some other stuff. I was like, oh, am I spoiling things? You're going to see the cards anyways. Unfortunately, we're not locking them away. Is there going to be some sort of storage guide in the box/rule book? So Daniel is asking if there is a how to organize the storage. So it may be, and the reason I say maybe is because the only kind of question on how to organize your game will probably be with the base tray, because everything is going to kind of come in their slots except what am I talking about? Except the punch outs, right? And so the punch outs will take a little bit of, I guess, figuring out where they go. So we got a couple questions. There's 2 questions, Adam and Matt, one on YouTube, one on Facebook. You guys are both asking questions about future expansions. So Let me just be straight up. Thank you for, first of all, I guess, supporting for future expansions. But secondly, there's so much content, and we want to just to kind of maximize the playability and the ease of use of this game, Stars of Akarios, like 1.0. That I didn't want to hurt the experience for our 10,000 people who are getting this game. Well, I guess 9,000 people who are getting this game and who play it, to potentially solve an issue in the future. I would rather kind of tackle each box, and there's not much wasted space in this box. There's not much wasted space. We are cramming things in, and the nice thing about the trays is that they actually provide quite a bit of utility, right? The sparrow tray is going to be out on the board. Player tray, it's really pass one to each player. So there's some things that I think are going to be universal, but as far as upgrading, at least my idea for the expansion right now, it wouldn't fit in this box anyways. So you can ask me about my idea for the expansion if you haven't heard it, but besides that, Marcus is asking, is there a correct way to stack the trays in the box, or do they fit in any order? So that's an interesting question. Yes, there is a correct way. From us, there's a correct way. It starts with the base tray. So this is the kind of the thickest. It kind of provides the structure, and this tray isn't meant to be taken out of the box. It's sitting on the bottom of the box, and so it's not meant to be taken out. And it's really you go in here, and you don't go in here too often. This is just kind of at the beginning of the game. You grab the stuff you need and you kind of set it back. On top of the base tray, there's the area for the scenario book, the rule book, and then kind of layered in one layer, we have the sparrow tray, and then we have the 4 player trays that are kind of all providing the next layer. And then on top of that, we have the card tray, and I wonder if I can show this without, maybe what? I'm gonna load it up here just in case you guys see stuff. Okay, game trays, render pics. Okay, so I'm trying to load up. Oh, you can't really see it there. Okay. Oh, this is the top tray. I want to show you guys it with the lid. Okay. Well. Oh. Here we go. So this is on the very top. When you first get the game, there's going to be the cardboard punch outs are actually going to be on top, but this lid that goes on top of the card tray, you see these ridges here. We have these like massive player boards in the game, and they actually slide right on top, and so they're not going to shift around, move, jut up the edges, because they fit boom 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 right here. And so this is the top, and so yeah. A couple people asking about sleeves. So I'll be frank, one, I know you won't be able to sleeve the whole game. There's sleeve adds, I think, about like 50% more space, and we're already like 900 cards, so the game would have to be huge in order to do sleeves. But let me say this: I think there will be enough room, because there's some space in these cards, and here each card well can hold 55, and so we have 46, we have 41, we have 53, 42, 50, 30, 30, 54, 55, 55, 55, 50, 52, 50, 55, 55. So you can see most of them are maxed out, but there is a little bit of give and take in some of them. And so I think you can sleeve some of your cards, and really I think for the only cards that get handled often are the modifier cards. No other card gets shuffled. No other card really gets touched kind of more than like once per scenario. And so the modifier cards for the sleevers, those are going to be the ones that you'll want to do. And yes, I am going to be, hey, when I get, actually I don't have, so these, they're being like the factory molds are being made right now. And so it's, that's just a big thing that they're doing. And then once I get it back, I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy some sleeves. I'll even do like a little live stream for us where we can kind of walk through it. Adam's asking about how durable the trays are. Yeah, so game trays, they do pretty, I don't know if you have any of their stuff, Adam, but they have decently secure trays. They're like the one that's going to be in, I guess, most under bear is this card tray. It's going to be heavy, and so I've been told that, yeah, we've made it thick enough, right? We have enough thick plastic. There's supports underneath that you can lift it up, and particularly you can definitely lift it up with two hands to put it down, and it's yet to be seen whether you can actually just lift it up with one hand and it remain kind of structurally sound. So I'm interested in that. I'm looking forward to trying it. Okay. I'm trying to look here. Oh yeah, Oni Zazan, he was asking what the idea for the expansion is. Basically my rough idea right now is like kind of like Monster Hunter in space. So I'm not gonna spoil how the end of this game is, but suffice to say, Sparrow. Suffice to say, there's characters kind of still around, and I just have this kind of cool idea of these like massive space monsters that you're like commissioned to go bounty hunt, and I have some kind of interesting like AI things that I learned throughout this process that I want to try out on a more complex single enemy to kind of make that really dynamic. We would definitely create like a different dual layer like monster board, and that has like a unique kind of organic AI system. And so yeah, that's a thought. I think there's some fun areas to be had with this idea of like, fighting these monsters, and maybe it's, we print up a map where it's actually on a ground map. So you're in your ships, but you're fighting this monster that's so big that's on a planet or something. I really like I don't know if I've talked about that but before, but it's right now it's a thought. Nothing really, I don't think anything has really gone on to paper, and so it's just a thought that's in the back of my mind that I'll probably start picking away at it, in the next couple months. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so in this tray, like I was talking about, we have nice areas for the weapon cards, the engine cards, tech cards. We have 6 kind of small card spots, 8, oh my goodness, I can't even do math, 7 medium card spots, and then the kind of 3 square spots. Let me just go back to host. There we go. Hey, thanks Matt for backing since the beginning. That's awesome. You were there. I know there's a handful of people who have been there since the early days. So hey, thank you for joining, supporting since the early ones. I am so excited. I actually just glanced at our Kickstarter page, because we're not allowed to edit or anything, right? And so I glanced at it the other day. And I'm like, wow, this game has like changed so much, and for the better. I don't, there's a lot of you who follow along to these live streams. You know that it is that the game has really evolved and grown and kind of been fleshed out over this past year. But I think there's probably 4 to 6 thousand people who back the game because like, hey, this is a cool idea, and they're gonna receive the game, and it's gonna be this massive box, and they're gonna open it, and they're gonna be like blown away. Like, one, I think by the quality of the components of the trays of the game of the artwork, and I think it's just I'm excited for that experience because there's a lot of you guys who kind of know a little bit more of what to expect, but I think there's going to be a group of people who just backed the game on Kickstarter and kind of forgot about it, who are going to open the box and be like, wait a second, I don't remember this, in a good way. Right? It's like, oh wow, like at least these trays were not on Kickstarter, and they weren't. Or it's like, oh wow, like there's all this artwork or all these ships and all these detailed miniatures that weren't on Kickstarter, frankly, that we didn't show because we didn't have the assets for. And so I am thrilled for when that is gonna happen. Yeah, hey, oh, Kyle, same here. Way back in April of 2020, we got some OC original people. Adam is talking about, for the potential expansion, that there's a map where you're fighting inside of the monster. Classic. And then we have Whatever It Takes Media, because as Drax says, its skin is too thick from the outside to penetrate it. So good old Guardian of the Galaxy's reference. Well, hey, I think that's the end of what I wanted to kind of share, and I'm happy I can kind of stream both places now, because I know there's a lot of people who are not on Facebook, and YouTube is good for that. So make sure, if you're just joining on YouTube now, you click the subscribe so you get a little notification anytime we go live. Otherwise, I will be posting I'm going to be posting I'm trying to think. Oh wow, we're May 20th, so there's a couple weeks before I'm going to post a Kickstarter update, and we'll be all good for that. So hey, take care everyone. I'm going to just end the stream here.